I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it live.
Catch 'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em up the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
I'm Zeke Thurston, 2016 World Champion Saddle Rock Rider, and you're watching the Pepper Stewart Show.
That is what you're doing. He told you. I didn't tell you. You figured it out on your own. One way or another, you ended up here. That's not my fault, by the way. Just in case you're wondering what happened. You did that to yourself. So, but you're here. We got stuff for you. We are throwing out episode 100 for you guys for Farm and Ranch TV. Broadcast worldwide, 47 different countries burn their eyeballs each and every week staring at us. I think there's a medication for that, but I'm not sure. Not sure what it would be, but I bet there is one. We got stories. We got stuff. We've got special guests. So we've got all that stuff for you guys. We've got Heather Linn here in studio with us. Heather Linn and the Deacons. She's going to tell us about music, sing a few songs for you guys. So we'll do that. And then later on, we're going to talk to Lori Lee from Bronc Ride Nation and tell you what they got going on. They got some stuff going on, too. So we will tell you all about that. And then your favorites. We got your favorites. Your random news stories. Your odds and ends from around the world. We got all that for you. Because that's what you want. You ask and you shall receive, right? That's what's going on. Everybody else want to know what's going on with the big, they're like, what's this big announcement? What are y'all talking about for the 100th show? And what is this, that, and the other? Well, that's what it is. We got things in the works, things going on. And I guess we'll let the goat out of the pen, like Tex does at his Mason meetings. June 2nd through August 25th is Mesquite Rodeo. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo is going on in Mesquite, Texas. And with that, that's where we'll be. Mesquite Rodeo is going back on TV this year, so they will be on demand. Just like you watch your Netflix, you'll be on demand at Pro Rodeo TV with the weekly highlights on Wrangler Network. So either way, you're going to get some rodeo in your face. So be sure and check that out. That's what's going on with that. That's all I can say. That's it. That's all I got about that. In the news, the PRCA over the last couple of weeks has changed their logo, and everybody went nuts about the logo change because they took the bucking horse off the logo. And so everybody is all up in arms wanting to know what happened, why they did it, and what's going on. Well, times change, things change, logos change, stuff happens. Just like we tried to do a logo change. Apparently that didn't go over well because we had one of the guys that's a big fan of the show, and he does graphic stuff as well, and he sent over some new logos, which I liked them. I thought they were nice. I liked them. So we put it out to a vote, and the vote said no. They liked the old logo, so we still got it. That's what you're looking at right there. So PRCA changed their logo, which is fine because it's PRCA Rodeo. We had the bucking horse on it for years, off and on, but everybody got upset. But I will tell you this. The guys at the PRCA Rodeo going to the pay window and collecting their check, I'm pretty sure they don't care if there's a bucking horse on it or not, as long as the check cashes. So, things change, things happen. There's and with the bucking horse, yeah, it's bucking horse, but there's a lot of other events that go on with it too. So, pick your poison. It still says PRCA. We are Pro Rodeo. They are Pro Rodeo. So that's what happened. We do want to tell you guys, this was brought to our attention in one of the groups out there for the Western lifestyles and things like that. And the way rodeos are going now, the PBR had their big announcement. The PBR with the World Class Rodeo Association going on. They just had their big event. Their big event up in Las Vegas. I watched that. We didn't go. We didn't send anybody. And I did watch it, and the attendance. I thought the attendance would have been a little bit better than what it was, but that's what happens sometimes. But everybody's trying to help rodeo out and be better at rodeo. And what a lot of you guys have to think about is when you're on social media and you're posting stuff, you're posting pictures and you're posting videos and things. What you post and what you say, you're on the internet. You're on the World Wide Web, the interweb net. So everybody around the world is seeing what you're posting, and they might not be familiar with what's going on. So when you word something and when you leave your comments, make sure your comments make sense, because what you say and what you may say behind the chutes, rodeo slang that doesn't translate to your average Joe down the street that doesn't know what you're talking about. It sounds bad. For instance, the picture was a bareback ride, and the guy was making a good ride, and the comments were horrible. Like the guy was saying, kill him, cut his head off, and it's like, we know what you're saying. We're saying what people in the rodeo world are saying. You're making a good ride. Roll your feet back and forth and making a good ride. But when you translate it like that, it sounds bad. And for somebody who don't know about rodeo, that sounds horrible. And so you're not helping yourself out. Help yourself out when you make comments on the internet. When I go to the colleges and the schools and things, I try to tell the kids what you post on the internet. Make sure you know what you're posting, and it doesn't translate to everybody. Make sure it translates to people that don't know what you're talking about, because it I don't know, you make it hard on yourself sometimes. But other than that, I don't have anything else to ramble on about. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna flip it around and see what's going on over there and what is happening. Look at that. Heather Linn is here. There she is. Heather Lynn's here. Tex is here. He showed up.
Finally, I'm here. I made it back from a meeting.
A meeting?
Meeting.
A meeting. Was it AA meeting or what?
I don't know.
What kind of
meeting?
What kind of meeting did you go to? Yeah. All right.
He's not answering that question.
I don't know.
Pleading the fifth on that.
His wife,
I don't know.
His wife must be watching. He said he doesn't fit all the way into the doghouse. He's too big for it, so he's trying to make sure he doesn't.
I don't want to get the wrong thing.
Oh, wow. But with that, Heather Lynn's here. Heather Linn.
Hey.
Heather Linn and the Deacons.
And the Deacons. Yep.
All right. So let's talk about music.
Let's talk about it.
So you sing songs, and I would say from what I've heard, I would say it's kind of a bluesy rock type.
Mm-hmm. It's more of a southern rock with a slide of country. It's kind of its own feel, but yeah.
It's just something you want to listen to.
Yeah,
I'll put that way.
absolutely.
All right, and you've been doing this a while.
I've been doing it for 25 years. I've been singing for 25 years.
Okay. All right. Well, now in your singing, where'd you start off singing? Was it something that you come in young and it's like, this is what I want to do, or how'd that work out?
And I've always wanted to do it. I think I started when I was 12 years old. We started in school, and my mom's, and then it became something I loved to do. So Mama packed me up in a car. She took me to all these little jamborees and festivals that she could, and it went from there. We had my first band when we were 14. I was 14 years old. We were in high school. We competed in FFA competitions with our band. Went all the way to state. And then after that, I got into gospel music. I was a gospel singer for about 11 years. And got into my 30s and found my way back to the stage and hadn't looked back. So.
All right. Now, as far as your music goes, what influenced you? What bands did you listen to, or things like that kind of help guide you on your?
When I was younger, it was Winona Judd. Vocally, she was what I fit well with, and I think that's where I gravitated to. But I've always loved Creedence and Aerosmith and those more rock and roll bands. But I was raised on country music, so it's kind of I think that's where it both comes in and ties into.
Okay. All right. Now, you're of course, you're a family woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to music and traveling and doing that, how do you juggle between the two?
My husband and I have been married for about 2 years. Well, almost 2 years. I was doing this when he met me, you know, so he knew coming into this what he was getting into. I don't think he fully knew what he was getting into, but he's very much my biggest supporter. He has never complained, not one time, about me going and doing what I do, and we spend a lot of time apart because of what I do. But he's a trooper. So my kids are grown, except for my two little ones. Then they lived with. I'm their stepmother, so they live with their mom. So it all kind of works out. So
Okay. All right. And being I guess a rural program, you do from time to time sing national anthems
I sing a national
at the
anthem.
rodeo.
Yes, quite a few.
And where would that be?
We do. I've done a lot of them in our local area around Linden and Texarkana. I did a PBR, national anthem for a PBR in Texarkana not too long ago. It's something I love to do. Anytime they ask me to, I've driven to Oklahoma City just to sing a national anthem for some veterans, you know, and it's something I love to do. Anytime I ask to do it, I'm game.
And what about your music? When you write songs, what's the mindset? What do you get into when you get into write a song?
Writing songs is hard for me. It's not a natural talent for me. It's something it takes me longer than it does others. But it's whatever is. I say this a lot, but you know, my husband will say something funny, or he'll say a line, and I'll stop and go, "Hang on a minute, that's a good line to a song," or and I'd base it around lines of I'll catch a line and we'll write from there. But yeah, I'm still growing in that area for sure.
Okay. All right. And as far as what you sing, what are some of the artists that you kind of follow and kind of as far as singing covers and things like that, what do you look forward to? What do you look to?
I do a lot more male songs than I do female songs. I gravitate vocally towards that, I guess. I love the Eagles. I love that style of music. Texas country is something that I'm really coming in to enjoy, and we opened for Randy Rogers not too long ago, and that was a lot of fun, and it's opening up a whole new avenue of, this ain't bad. Like I could probably get into singing some, Texas country, but with a little rock and roll side.
Right.
But
and as far as going out, when you guys go out to sing or go different places, where's the furthest y'all have traveled to sing?
I have a day job, so I can't go too far unless it's worth the trip. We've gone down to Temple and Waco, and we'll go down in that area. We do a lot of stuff in Louisiana, out in Monroe and Natchitoches area, and I'll go just about anywhere anybody wants me to go. Just sometimes it costs a little more to get there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that works. I mean, and it gets out there. And I guess you got a couple songs.
Yeah.
A couple songs you brought with you that you're gonna sing for us.
Absolutely. We got a couple of originals that I wrote, and we're gonna do for y'all today. I got my buddy over here. He's been with me for a few years now, Mr. Blake Powell. So.
All right. Well, that'll work. I guess what we'll do. We'll get this thing kicked in gear and let's sing a couple of songs.
Sounds great.
All right. We did say she's going to sing a song, and she's going to sing a song right here. Heather Linn is going to sing one for you.
Thanks, sir. When life's got you down, and you cannot stand the sound of the people in your crowd. Yeah, take the long way around when your baby's acting like a clown, but all you feel on your face is a frown, and you're about to come around. Yeah, take the long way around. Yeah, take the long way around. Yeah, take the long way around when you don't want to be fair. Yeah, take the long way around. Shortest path ain't always best. Baby, what you try to fix? Just take your time and free your mind. Never know what you might miss. Yeah, yeah. This road has got you down, and you're headed for that final town. Don't find yourself laying face down. Take the long way around. Yeah, take the long way around. Yeah, take the long way around when you don't want to be fair. Yeah, take the long way around when you don't want to be fair. Yeah, take the long way around.
All right. How about that? Some good stuff. Good
Thank
stuff
you.
right there. Good stuff.
you.
What's the story? Is there a story with that song?
It really, kinda. I was on a job one time, and we were. I worked out at a paper mill, and I had to go up to the main offices. And it was one of them days you just don't want to be at work. And I was like, you know what? I do not want to go back up to that shack. I think I'm gonna take the long way around. And I started just singing the words "long way around," and then all the other words kind of came in. So it has nothing to do with what it really came from. But that's, like I said, I take a line, and that's where I start from. So.
Yeah. All right. What else you got for us?
We wrote. I wrote about a week and a half ago, so it's very, very, very new. We only put music to it not before last, so y'all hang with us. I hope I can remember the words. So but we thought we would do it. So
Well, let's do it.
smoky eyes that hate to cry, painted lips that'll tell you lies. She wears that crooked smile, just her twisted way of saying hi. Don't let her fool you with that grin. Do her wrong and she'll do you in, but she's the only thing that's on your mind. Well, a soul on fire, it burns hotter than hell, and a mind that runs deeper than any old well. Our body's been branded by every man she's ever had, but her love's the purest thing you've ever felt. Broken hearts that never stop trying, and wounded pride that'll never stop fighting. She wears her tattoos well, like stories that she'll never tell. She's wild at heart and she's that friend, and you'll know everywhere she's just a broken mold that's one of a kind. Well, the soul fire burns hotter than hell, and a mind that runs deeper than any old way. Well, our body's been branded by every fool she's ever had, but her love's the purest thing you've ever felt. Well, our body's been branded by every fool she's ever had, but her love's the purest thing you've ever felt. Not too bad for a new one.
Good stuff.
Thank
That's good stuff right there.
I'm glad you like it.
Breaking out the new stuff for the people. They like that.
That's right.
They like, just like the people right now. They like the sneak peeks. They like to get in there before everybody else.
That's it.
They enjoy that stuff. So
Well, thank you.
that's some good stuff. Good stuff. So you got any more hidden in there? Or you want to talk about stuff? Or?
I don't. I mean,
mean, it's up to
I'm
you
good.
guys.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that'll work. I guess we'll flip this around and then get back to it. Let's see here. Where did we go? It's disappeared. All of a sudden, that's what we'll go to. We'll go to that right there. All right, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Heather, Linn, and the Deacons. Check them out at a town near you. Some good stuff going on. And with that, we're going to talk about stuff. It's time for stuff. Stuff. Everybody wants stuff, right? Everybody wants to hear about stuff, talk about stuff. That's what we're doing. I'm going to do this right quick. You just saw the AgX. I'm going to throw it out right quick. I put a story out about AgX for your cows, all right? This is genius for your cows. AgX right here. This is genius for your cows. I'm going to throw it over and let you see what I did so you'll know what I'm talking about. What AgX is, it's an app. It's ear tags. You see me talk about it and things. It's ear tags, and you ear tag your cows. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing over here, but what I'm doing, I'm going to herd management. All right, this is a free program. So I go to my cows up here at the house, my house cow lot. You can separate your cows in whatever pastures you want. So these right here are the cows at headquarter cows right here. That's where they are. All right, location. That's where they are. All right, so that's what's going on. Now, what you can do when you scan the ear tag of that cow, it's a RFID tag right there. So these are the house cows. So I can pull these cows up, and it tells me where they are right there. And this group of cows, if I need to know something, I can click on that ear tag on the app on my phone or the app on my computer. And what does it tell me? I got a Brangus cow right here. Her tag's 1114. Where's she at? She's at headquarters. All right, and what do I know about this cow? It tells you right there. All right, this cow, this is one of the cows that we just brought in. We bought her 3/30/18. When was she born? 2014. Her old tag number when she came in. When we worked all the cows, what did we do? We vaccinated with Ultrabac 8. We dewormed with Prevent Ivermectin Poron. And we fly ear tag with Bayer Petric insecticide right there. All right? So next time we work with this cow, like for instance, this particular cow, I hate to say this, but this particular cow, her calf just died. I don't mean to say that to you guys right now, but yeah, this cow just died. She drowned in the pool. My son just pulled her out of the pool a minute ago and hauled her off to the bone pile. But this cow's calf drowned in the pool. And so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to edit this, and up under, I'm going to write calf died, 2018 calf died drowning. All right? I throw it on you guys like that, but that's what happened. And that's what you can do. You know, you go on to these cows and it's all on your phone. And if I sell this cow, say this black cow here, I sell her. Whoever buys this cow, they scan the ear tag, and this pops up. Bam. Matter of fact, it's Trey's cow. All right, so it's Trey. His cow. That's the old tag number, worked, blah, 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 right there. All the information is right there for AgX. So what I'm saying is, if you want to keep track of your cattle and you want to sell your cattle, you can say, hey, look, I got these cows right here. I'm going to sell you. And people are like, what happened to these cows? What'd you do? Well, they can scan that cow with the free app. AgX Herd Management is a free app, all right? So whoever buys this cow scans the ear tag, and all my information pops up. Bam. So they know exactly what's happened, the history, everything on that cow. And the AgX Herd Management app is free, all right? The ear tags, RFID ear tags, scannable ear tags with your phone, $1 a piece, all right? Why would you not do that? If you want your cows to bring more money, and the consumers want to know, we told you last week that a major fast food chain is only going to buy cows that they can verify, know what's going on with them. Well, then why would you not do that? And the same thing with the BQA. We told you about BQA. If you go to Pepper Stewart Show on Facebook, the BQA is having some free. Of course, it's free to get certified to be BQA, but they're having some classes for that coming up. And so you want to do that. But, the BQA, Beef Quality Assurance, you want to be certified. The consumers want to know what their cows have been up to, where they've been, what's been done to them. So why would you not be certified? So let's tell you about that.
Doing things the right way. Not quite the golden rule, but it's up there. Holding yourself to a higher standard, even when no one's looking. Your dad did it. His dad too. When the time is right, he'll pass it along. At National Cattlemen's Beef Association, we're for anyone who takes pride in doing things the right way. For more than 30 years, our Beef Quality Assurance Training and Certification Program has been guiding ranchers, veterinarians, and transportation professionals. BQA has become the standard for proper management techniques of the beef industry. It's a commitment to quality and improved profitability that helps raise consumer confidence in the safety and quality of their food. BQA programs educate and train professionals dedicated to moving the cattle industry forward. Professionals who take that responsibility seriously. The ones who've never cut a single corner or spoken the words good enough. BQA is for cattlemen who believe doing things the right way is the only way. And that's never going to change.
That's right. You want to do it right, and you want to tell, you want to do things the way it's supposed to be done. And when you sell a cow to somebody and you tell them, hey, this is what's been going on with this cow, then you're correct, right? You don't want to throw out false information. But who does want to throw some information out to text? Text got information for you over there.
Well, speaking of cow, I got a little cattle news over here. Stolen cattle news.
All right, tell me about that.
And $1 million cattle embezzlement. $1 million. $1 million. Jackson County Sheriff Department in Oklahoma on April the 12th arrested somebody. They on a arrest with a in all 2017. That's how we do beforehand. In all 2017, Special Ranger Scott Wilson initiated his investigation after being contacted by Fraser Bank in Oklahoma. Bank officials were concerned with possible illicit activity in connection to a bank loan valued at more than $1 million, where he put up the cattle up for collateral. Well, the investigation led to 3 felony counts. 1, embezzlement greater than $45,000. 2, obtaining by trick or deception greater than $1,000, and shadow income greater than $1,000. You put the bank official, I guess.
Yeah.
These 3 charges could land him in prison for up to 23 years. He also faces possible fine more than $15,000 and restitution to the bank exceeding $1 million. He was booked into the county jail and released on bond. He is waiting a trial. So when you get money from the bank, you make sure you have your cow. Or you kill your cow. You do have cow. Make sure you pay the bank back. They want the money back.
But when you get money for cows, make sure they don't drown in the pool.
Yeah.
I've lost 2 cows this year. I don't like that. I don't like losing calves. Lost 2 calves this year. I'm not a fan of losing calves, man. What I'm a fan of is Doc West Band. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a Doc West Band video in your eyeballs. You guys check this out. Enjoy it. And when we come back, we're going to be on the line with Lori Lee, Bronc Riding Nation.
He's a ton of muscle, branded fur, blood, hooves, and bones. By the way, his eyes locked on me, well, he don't like me none. He's never given up 8 seconds, don't like cowboys on his back. When the hand pulls that gate, man, it's the only fun he'll ever have. He's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they're forever mending. When the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of bull. He comes from a long line of Bronco living hell. Many Stetson hats took his buck before they fell. And every rodeo generation got the same spell that can't be broke. It's addiction, it's adrenaline when they pull that rope. He's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they're forever mending. When the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of it's a whole lot of he's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they're forever mending. When the gate is pulled, yeah, when the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of it's a whole lot of
Whoa, what happened? All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Doc West Band, Whole Lot of Bull. Check them out playing at a location. What's going on over there? A lot of racket. All right, that's what's going on with Doc West Band. Check them out on their webnet. Our former featured guest in studio tonight was Heather Linn from Heather Linn and the Deacons. Look her up on the interwebnet. Out of East Texas. Check it out. She's singing all over the place. She travels and sings. And I bet you have probably seen her at a rodeo singing the national anthem. If you haven't, you might see it again. So with that, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get some bronc riding going on. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to throw it down here directly with Lori Lee from Bronc Riding Nation.
I'm Zeke Thurston, 2016 World Champion Saddle Bronc Rider, and you're watching the Pepper Stewart Show.
Zeke told you that you are watching the Pepper Stewart Show, and he is a world champion saddle bronc rider. And being a world champion saddle bronc rider, we've got another bronc riding expert right here on the line with us, and we've got Miss Lori Lee herself right here on the Pepper Stewart Show. Lori, what is going on?
Well, Pepper, I'm here to promise you that if Zeke says it, it's true. It's true.
It's got to be. He said it. It was on the internet, so it's true.
You know, about 3 years ago, I was at a match in Sentinel Buttes, North Dakota, which is the Home on the Range Rider Champions. It's a benefit up there at a school for boys. They put on a match that's amazing. It's in an amphitheater-type setting, and the crowd is all 100% fans. It's so much fun. But it was the first time I watched Zeke Thurston ride, and the judges disrespected him that day, and nobody really knew why. So he came to visit, and it's like, this ain't going to happen very much longer, buddy. So it was no surprise when Zeke stepped up and took his gold buckle, and I think he did a great job of representing bronc riding for the PRCA. Good kid.
Oh yeah, good kid, good rider, and he represents bronc riding really well.
I agree.
And what I'm looking at, or we're all in the whole wide world looking at, 47 different countries, by the way. We're looking at Bronc Ride Nation's website. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at some horses right here, doing a little trot by and everything. So, what is Bronc Ride Nation all about?
You know, about 8 years ago, I, as a person, produced a bronc riding school to get a neighbor kid of mine involved. And in the course of doing that, I went to study in the industry. I'd been away for a long time. And I found some really scary factors. You know, for one, the social paradigm has kind of changed. 90% of us are living in cities, and, you know, that's one figure over there. Now, 1 out of every 63 people in the U.S. alone claims a deep connection to horses, which tells me a whole lot of these people that care a lot don't know a lot. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's really difficult to have a horse when you're living on 7th Avenue, right?
Right.
But we've done a really poor job of getting people up close enough to what we do in our horses to allow them to fall in love. And it's so easy to fall in love with them once you know them. So, you know, we took a look at those challenges, and, you know, there were several more. I mean, the fraternity programs are coming on strong. The United Buck and Horse Association, the World Fraternity Association, these guys are making it easy for a small breeder to have horses and compete on them. And so, you know, our programs are coming along, and we saw what that did for the PBR. It produced really mega monster bulls.
Right.
And there were a lot of people coming along trying to ride them because the money was there. Well, we don't have that in bronc riding just yet. So we had a rider pool that was going down, a horse pool that was going up, and that's just a dangerous equation. So that bothered me. And I started, you know, I mean, I'm a bronc riding fan. I love these bucking horses. I worked for Jiggs Butler when I was a kid and stepped into a pen of them for the first time and just absolutely fell in love, and none of that changed. So I thought somebody should address these problems. And you know how the world works. If you want to see a problem addressed, you should really step up and do it yourself.
Right.
So 8 years ago, we started doing that just with what we had. Let's tell the stories. Let's start a Facebook page. Let's employ social networking. You know, let's let people know that they're more than that 8 seconds of violence or romance you see in the arena, that they come from the most beautiful places in the world, and they're born on wide open ranges, and they live like wild horses, except that they're handled a little regularly, and they're fed all the time. They're wild horses with groceries delivered and all the vet care they need. They're not backed until they're 4 or 5 years old. They go on and have careers that last into their 20s. And most of the time, they go right home to the places that they were born on and their family bands, and they live out their days right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's compare industries. You know, I mean, any other industry in the world can't claim that. You know, saddle horses, show horses, they're born, they're raised, they're trained, they're started, they move on to a show home, and then, you know, they either stay there or they skip around the rest of their lives.
Right.
So, you know, we're talking about the most naturally kept, naturally performing, well taken care of horses on the planet. So, you know, that's the story that nobody's had time to tell, because you know what? we're all real busy working with these horses, knowing we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So, for somebody like me to come along and go, you know what, I have time and I have a quirky little skill set that will let me tell these stories. So we started there, and then just recently we've opened a membership. So think Ducks Unlimited for our kind of people.
Right.
If it weren't for Ducks Unlimited, conserving the wetlands, them duck boys down there in Louisiana that everybody likes so much, they wouldn't be around because there wouldn't be no ducks.
They'd have to shave and go to work,
So,
get a job.
They would have to go get a job, which would be truly frightening. Can you imagine running into that at the gas station?
Well, like that would say, get a haircut, get a job, right?
That's it. So that's basically the foundation. Where the membership funds several programs. We're building funds for scholarships to the Oklahoma Panhandle State University, which is where the F-Bowers teach. So, a lot of the riders going down the road today in the top 15 are graduates of that school. So that's the logical place to put that 4-year scholarship. We're looking at pension funds for horses and welfare funds, so even more of these horses can retire. We're looking at doing matching TAC funds, matching equipment funds for riders. Because, let's face it, when you're going to look at buying a $300 bull rope opposed to putting $2,500 into a saddle halter and a vest, some shafts, I'm going bull riding. and that's if we're looking to keep this event strong, we've got to be helping young people get started.
Yeah.
There's a lot of organizations out there today. Since we started, things were really looking up. We had several prayers and knew that several things had to happen. One was deeply developing the youth organizations. So we started in the ranks of the Junior High School Rodeo Association and got them to include steer, bears, and broncs as a regular event. So when you go to the finals in the junior high, you can ride steer, bears, and broncs. You don't get these little kids out there and get them cow-killed, give them a chance to really sit up and learn to ride,
Yeah.
and then move them on to the big horses.
Right.
So that's where we started, and shortly thereafter, Lacey Demers picked up the reins for the Junior Rough Stock Association. They buck ponies across the United States and Canada, and their organization qualifies them to go to the Junior NFR. So that's in place. We're bringing along more and more kids. There's a registry now, a DNA-based registry that's really built on some sound practices and run by some great people called the Buck and Horse Breeders Association. Forever, the pedigrees and the lineage of horses has depended on oral tradition. Well, now there's a DNA-verified set of registry papers and a growing database. So pretty soon, with all the data collected, you're going to be able to look at that and make sound breeding decisions. Oh, well, the Custer and Wyatt Earp cross, that is a 90% producer. Let's do that. Taking some of the guesswork out of it. They're doing a great job. The Texas Bronc Riders Association started from the grassroots, started giving people a place that couldn't either take off the time to go down the road in the pros. So they started organizing and using existing rodeos in Texas to use for their points. So that's how they started, and pretty soon they developed a women's tour that's now been picked up by Ride TV, and these girls are going all over the country riding these days. Good for business, very good for business. So there's some amazing things going on. Pepper, one of the really coolest, I think, being kind of a media person and geeky that way, I'm always thinking mainstream. How do we stop preaching to the choir and start reaching outside of our boundaries and winning new hearts and fans for these horses? So I'm thinking a great book needs to happen. And those Wright kids, that's a pretty phenomenal story. Somebody should pick that up.
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, John Branch, Pulitzer Award-winning writer from the New York Times, picks up on the story, does a great story for the Times, falls so in love with it that he does a book called The Last Cowboys, being open to rave reviews. It's been on the market for about 2 weeks. The LA Times just reviewed it. LA Times now. Hello, LA Times. Just reviewed it and had amazing things to say about it. Not only the quality of his writing, Branch writes like every writer dreams of writing. When he writes, you read slowly, and you see pictures in your head. He's that guy. So his book on the rights, called The Last Cowboys, is amazing. Now enter a young woman named Chloe Zhao. Chloe Zhao was born in Beijing, and somehow this girl ended up on the Pine Ridge Reservation, got to know cowboys, cowboy types, and has just released a film called The Rider. It's an indie film. No big name actors, all just cowboys and people. Well, unless you count Cat Clifford, he's kind of cool, and Luke Kaufman does the music. I mean, we all know him, but Hollywood really doesn't know these guys.
Right.
Again, hit the festivals to rave reviews. Sony Pictures picked it up, released it in New York and L.A., and it's doing nothing but gaining momentum. That's where I'm going tonight. I'm going down to see The Rider, and I'm lucky enough to get to talk to Miss Al on Tuesday, because I want to know how you get from Beijing to Pine Ridge. I want to know what's in this woman's heart that she saw this story,
right,
and was to invest in it. I'm so excited to talk to her. So there's a lot of good mainstream things that are going on as far as telling the story. So it's an exciting time to be involved in bronc riding.
And it's out there, and when you look back and you go back in the history of all things, whether it's a lot of people like to go back to bronc riding as the invention of rodeo, but it even goes further back than that, just as the invention of the cowboy. And bronc riding, was started even further back with that, with the guys that got tired of being cowpokes, walking around poking their cows, and like, you know what? Let's ride this horse.
Bigger picture, Pepper. Let's open up the lens a little bit. How about that first cave guy that said, "I'm sick and tired of walking. That thing looks like it could carry me around. I believe I'll crawl on that."
Yeah.
Who is that guy? And since then, the horse has contributed to the building of societies. He's won wars for us. He's made so many sacrifices and taught us so much. Fed our growing nation, the nomad bronc rider out in the West, whose job it was drift to big outfit and knock the rough off them big, rangy 3-year-old, 4-year-old range colts that had never seen a human being, while the regular crew is out there doing what they do, tending cattle, and he'd get them gentle enough where those guys had a prayer working on them,
yeah,
and then grab his saddle and drift on. That man fed the East.
Yep.
He fed the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to it. There's so much to it. We have so much to be grateful for. That, as a result, there are so many amazing stories to tell, which is ever intriguing.
And they're everywhere, from every aspect, from here to there, and from the early days of time. You had horses involved in everything. When your ship got confused, ended up in America, and you had horses. I mean, it goes back, and a lot of what we have today comes from the horses. I mean, just thinking about what horses did for us in the early days. I mean, think about that. You didn't have a tractor in the old days. You just had a big horse and a plow, and you went out and went to work.
Without a doubt, you depended on your horse, and they worked hard. They worked hard, but so did the people right along beside them. I get tickled at people today. Since the advent of the automobile, our horses have been pets, basically. A few working outfits still keep them. A few horses still have legitimate jobs, but mostly it's just because man is drawn to horse that we still have them. I mean, they're a luxury.
Yeah.
Son was born with the need for speed that came out in motocross riding, and I made him work on my horses, and he'd look at me and go, "Horses are obsolete. I can't believe you are so, oh my gosh, this is so stupid." And I'm looking at him going, "Where'd you come from?" But, our horses are basically hothouse animals.
Yep.
And, you can see it in the clinicians that have sprung up over the past 10 years that are making a lot of money teaching people who don't know anything about a horse, that have just been fortunate enough to get one in their lives, trying to teach them what and sometimes what not to do.
Yeah.
So the prevailing, I see a lot of this because I scour the webs quite a bit. I'll be real frank with you. I got a little problem. I'm always trying to learn, and holy cow, the internet, I can just soak it up all day long if I don't have anything else to do. But people have come to some strange place.
Yeah.
Our cities and our societies have become fairly soft. I mean, we don't have to go out and work from sun up to sundown anymore and risk our lives. And the horses are the same way. But what they've done with these horses is really kind of put them in a position where they don't get to be horses anymore. They're in a stall. They might get 20 minutes of turnout. They're clicker trained. They eat cookies all day long.
Yeah.
If they break a sweat, somebody in the barn's going to call the law on you.
Right.
So yeah, so the kind of it's not the prevailing thing. I mean, there's a lot of good, sensible horse people out there. Thank goodness there's more of us than there are of them. But it's taken the people who really think that their mission in life is to speak for the horse and never let that horse break a sweat, but annoy that thing all day long with carrot sticks and tarps and this and that. And I pointed my pinky, which means he needs to lie, and they're prey animals.
Yeah.
Step into a pen of bucking horses and tell 40% of that herd, you're a prey animal and you're supposed to be fearful of me because I'm a human, because they will come eat you.
Yeah, and I run into that a lot of times too with different people I run into and things, and they've got a horse. They got horses they keep in the stall. They stall up horses. I don't. Everything we have runs on the pasture. Our horse pasture is 40 acres. The horses run. If I need to go catch a cow or I need to do something, I'll go outside. I'll whistle. They run to the barn. I saddle up and I go. And that just amazes people. They're like, how do you do that? Well, the horses. This is what they do. They know their job. They know what they do. They realize that they get to live out and do whatever they want to do until it's time to go to work. And we've got horses at the ranch that if we saddle up and we take a couple of horses and leave some behind, they get mad. They're like, wait, what's going on here? Why am I not going with you? And they'll holler at you. I'm sure they're cussing me out in horse language.
Absolutely. See it all the time. A human being with nothing to do, an idle human being, soon turns miserable. And our horses are the same way. They need some kind of a job, some kind of a focus, some kind of a purpose. And gosh, we've just come to a really, really kind of an odd place in how we think about animals. And it's whatever works for you. I'm all good with that. But I really need you to understand my horses that live naturally, wild and free, that perform for 2 minutes a year at the most natural move God gave them. Pepper, let's look at foals. A baby foal is born. The first thing he's going to do is struggle to his legs, to his feet, and that's a fight. That's a fight, boy.
Oh, yeah.
They fall over, they crash. It's so hard to watch them struggle, but boy, they'll find those feet. And then they start looking for food. Then they find food. Within that first hour after they've eaten, they're going to try to have a little gallop, and they're going to try to have a little buck. That is in the first hour of their life. Nobody taught them that. They're born with that. That's in their DNA. To live their life doing that, not much. I talked to Tommy Steiner the other day, and he said, well, Miss Lori, he says, I've noticed that our bucking horses live a whole lot longer than our saddle horses ever did. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. They're well taken care of. They don't work very much. They're naturally suited. The injury rate for rodeo horses is 0.00004.
Yeah.
They're made to last. They're warm bloods. They're crossed out on draft horses along with some hot blood somewhere back in the line somewhere. They're built like tanks, and they're not overused. And what they do is what they do naturally.
Right.
So,
and what they do, they enjoy doing it, and they like doing it. 'Cause if they didn't like doing it, they wouldn't do it. And people tell me all the time, "What do you?" I said, "Well," and I'll pull up a video. I had a couple of ponies that I was hauling to some junior rodeos, and there was times they'd open the chute and they'd just walk out there and stand.
Right?
And I'm
we're
like,
not playing these reindeer games. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
And it's like, all right, well, that's it. And they're like, what? I said, yeah. If that horse doesn't want to buck, it's not gonna buck. It's not like you're forcing it. You're not forcing it to do anything. It's doing it because it wants to do it and it likes to do it. It's not gonna do anything it doesn't like to do.
I'm that person that I'm the backdoor person. I want to see what's happening out back. I want to know all parts of it. I want the whole story. That's just who I am. I'm curious. I sat out on the back deck one night of Thomas and Mack, and I watched them bring the saddle broncs up. Those horses fired down the alley. There was nobody chasing them. They just bring them to the corner and tip them around the corner and go back to fetch the next one. Those horses fired down the alley at a strong trot with their ears up and their tails up, and they went and self-loaded, and, buddy, that was it. They're warriors. They were game on. You know, if people could see that instead of, you know, what they're imagining, because the voice of the animal rights community, you know, animal rights, that's kind of a bad name.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that because they're so wrong, Pepper. They're so wrong.
And they are. And I've dealt with them before and dealt with them here and there. And what I come to find out from a lot of the animal rights people, which I tell them, you know, hey, if you want to come through rodeo and see what's going on, you know, it's you guys that's helped make rodeo better. You know, you guys have helped, you know, put some things in place that need to be in place and make things good.
Mm-hmm.
But what I tell them all the time is like, hey, come out and check it out. You know, it's better for you to come out and see things for yourself, see how things actually work, rather than just going on what somebody told you. And what I've found is a lot of the people that I've brought out to rodeos that came out to see how things actually happen, they're like, wait, this is nothing like what they tell me. This isn't
what YouTube said.
Yeah, it's like this is not what they said happens. I'm like, no, if you got to come out and see for yourself, because you can't just go off what people tell you. And just like people that if you went to the rodeo when you were a 10-year-old kid, or 20, 30 years ago, it's different even now. Things have changed.
Exactly.
Things have went better for both the athlete and the animal athlete. Things have progressed and made things, you know, better all the way around.
Absolutely. And there's also something to be said for level of competition. You know, go to any racetrack, and the first race is going to be maidens, horses that have not won. They're young and they don't know anything. You know, the second race is probably going to be like non-winners of 2, lower class horses. They do that because the daily double is always race 1 and race 2. So the winners of these races are difficult to predict. Now, you get down to the feature race time and start looking at these animals walking in. It's an entirely different class. It's a different class of trainer. It's a different class of horse. You know, they're running on the same racetrack. They're running right out of the same gates. But they're different. They're different. So if you go to your local backyard rodeo that really doesn't have a good sanctioning body, you are liable to see anything.
Right.
You know, these guys aren't making a lot of money, and you're liable to see anything. And I'm here to promise you that if you do that, and you go to that rodeo and you see things that you know are not right, and you're not speaking up about it to somebody in authority in your town, the town that was in, then now you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nobody in the world should stand for any animal being abused or any animal being overfaced.
Right.
If you see that in anywhere from kittens to elephants, speak. But until you see that wrong, educate yourself a little more.
You know what I mean, don't you, boy?
A little more. And, you know, I don't know anybody in rodeo that isn't really happy to take their time. If you say, so, you know, that bucking strap you had on that horse there, did you really tie his naughty bits up in that? You know, and after they get done laughing and explain to you that that's a mare for gelding, and only 10% are stallions, and nobody's really into that kind of thing anyway, and they really wouldn't do it if they could, and if they did, you know, the horses just lay there and twitch like any self-respecting, you know, creature with naughty bits like that.
Yeah. Well,
you know, I mean, common sense. Please, can we have some more of that?
We need that, because I told that to, I think I was at Sam Houston State, and I was talking to the kids there, and we're doing a thing on rodeo and things, and you know, there's still misconceptions even today about stuff like that. And I told them, I was like, look, you know what? If you take a rope and wrap it around yours, and tell me what you're gonna do. Are you gonna get out there? Are you gonna jump around? Are you gonna jump around and move around? No. You're going to curl up in a ball and fall on the ground and cry for your mother.
Thank you, Pepper. I don't even have that equipment, but I know that.
So, yeah, I mean, think about that. If somebody did that to you, what are you going to do? Are you going to jump around and take off running? No, you're going to fall over and cry.
Thank you. Exactly. You know, speaking of changes in horsemanship involved in rodeo, I saw the coolest thing one year that involved Sterling Crawley. We were at the Casey Tibbs match in Pierre, South Dakota. And he has made the short go, and he has drawn the good short go horse, Frayed Knot. Now, Frayed Knot's been to the NFR a lot. He's a good, solid horse, and you can win this thing on him. He also has the most wicked sense of humor of any horse in the world. You can't sort him. I mean, everything is a game to him, and he wants to be on top. And they've nurtured that in him. Nobody's ever tried to change him. You know, he is what he is, and that's the cool thing about bucking horses. So they put him in the chute, and Sterling gets on him, and they're one guy back, so Sterling, you know, starts to get ready to get down on him. And Frayed Knot promptly sits down like a dog, sits down on its haunches in the chute, just sits, ears popped, looking all around, happy as he can be. You know, he's like, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? So that's where he sat. So Sterling gets off of him, and four good bucking horse contractors started working to get this horse up. They never hit him. They never hurt him. They wiggled the gate. They wiggled everything. They moved him. They reached in and pressed him in the belly. They you know, with their fingers. They did everything within their power. Nobody even thought about electricity. Nobody even thought about a whip. At about 90 seconds later, this horse is still happily sitting there with his ears popped up, watching everybody going, now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Sterling looked at the judges and said, can I take him from here? And the judges shrugged their shoulders and looked at each other and went, man, if you want to. And he said, yeah, I got him. So the judges stepped back, and Sterling nods for him. The horse is sitting like a dog. Sterling's on his back. He nods for him. This horse, without any moment of hesitation, rotated on that hip and scooted his sternum along the ground and launched for the sky like a rocket, like those two had been practicing that their whole lives. I promise you, Pepper, there are still tooth marks in the railing in the crow's nest at the arena at Pier, where I was taking big chunks out of it. Poor Hadley Barrett's trying to announce. I'm screaming and squalling and beating on things because it was just so amazing to watch. But that's how these horses are.
Yeah.
They love it. It's a game. It's a contest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people who think that, you know, I get a kick out of this. Horses are sentient beings, and we must understand their feelings. Yes, precisely. And that one wants to play rough.
Yeah.
Let's let him do it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah.
They've got their own personality. You know, each one's got their own personality. They do what they do, and it's just, you know, figuring out what it is and what they do, and letting them do it.
And that crosses boundaries into every level of everything that we do with every horse on the planet, from the kid's pony to the weekend trail rider to the $2 million dressage horse to the 3-day event horse that's going to go compete at the Olympics for the United States.
Yep.
From every class of horses, that's it. That's it. You know, people say, oh, so I have a friend that's a horse whisperer. And it's like, if your friend isn't a horse listener,
yeah,
then you know, we just can't talk anymore about this because there's nothing you need to tell them. They know.
Yeah.
You need to listen and then direct.
Horses may have big ears, but whispering to them is not going to work. I tried that. I tried that before.
Exactly.
That doesn't work.
Exactly.
That doesn't work. I'll tell you what, Lori, we're going to get out. We're up on it. We got about 30 minutes in here, so that's some good stuff. We got some good stuff for you, and we appreciate the time with Bronc Riding Nation. We throw it out there for the people. We showed them the website, showed them stuff, and see if we can't send some folks your way to check out some Bronc rides up. Because if they'll jump on your Facebook and website and things, especially Facebook, there's some great Bronc riding shots on there.
The photographers that work with us are some of the most astonishing people on the planet.
So
you know, they're just amazing. Please consider joining Bronc Riding Nation, www.broncridingnation.com. You can see the membership levels there. Right now we're running a special. For the individual level, it's a lifetime membership, $100 one time. We'll send you the coolest Huey, Ruffy, BRN hat you've ever seen, BRN T-shirt, sticker, decal, patches, and your very own numbered membership card. And if you've got a favorite number, we'll just give that to you. That lasts a lifetime and helps support the programs that we were talking about. Pepper, I so appreciate you having us on today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Laura, and we'll see you again. If we don't see you by now, I'm sure we'll see you next year at the American.
That's where you and I usually meet. It's our little secret, right?
That's it. That's where we go. All right.
Thank you, Pepper.
Thank you.
Best luck at Mesquite. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I know it is. I know. Invite a girl down. I'll co-announce with you one night.
All right, we'll do it.
Okay. I'll talk soon, Pepper. Thank you again.
Thank you. All right, Bronc Ride Nation, right there in your ear holes, right there. Lori Lee, Bronc Ride Nation. She does good stuff. She does good stuff. She travels around. Of course, the problem is we don't travel around as many rodeos as they do. So the only time we ever run into the Bronc Ride Nation is at the American. The only thing close to home. So good stuff, good deal going on. You got news out there you can throw out? What are we talking about? Anything good?
I got a lot of kind of stuff going on here, but we're running late on time. I don't know. You want to pick a story or what?
We can get out of here. It's up to you.
Oh yeah,
You got your wife on you or what?
yeah. I gotta get on. I gotta get on to the house.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got.
On
Yeah, you looking for me?
Uh-oh.
I'm late already.
All right. Well, these stories, we got stories and everything else, but we got them for you, and I guess we'll save them for another time. That's what we'll do with that. So Tex is over there. Look him up on Tex Travis on Facebook. See what he's got going on. For everything else going on, pepperstewart.com. That's where you're going to find everything that we are up to, we are doing.